Hello, hello. How are things going today? As usual, let me know if I'm too loud or if the music's too loud, but otherwise I'm back with my... I still don't know how it's pronounced. Aklis? Aklis? Something like that. Little Hades-inspired character. I don't think I've made really any progress since my last stream. It's been a busy week, but today... Oh, no, I've done a little bit. So I've been working on the belt. Getting in these kind of lumpy things, just sort of blocking it out. And yeah, trying to get a feel for what I want the belt to look like. So I will be continuing to work on that for now. But I'll probably move on because that shouldn't take too long. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I worked on it kind of in a bad workflow. Don't do what I did, where I extracted this from the base belt mesh, but then after I did that, I extruded the belt mesh to give some thickness, and so now I have this extraction is way too thin, and what I want is for it to actually wrap around all the way so that I don't have these weird edges when I do the low poly, because that would probably most likely come out looking a little bit weird when I do the baking of the high poly down onto the low poly. So now I kind of have to just do it by hand. Well, I have two choices. I can either do it by hand now, like with inflating, and hope that I can get it to come out pretty regular without too much work. I could possibly change the geometry to make that quicker, or I could just extract the whole thing again, which I'm wondering if it might actually be less work. I might want to apply the dynamic subdivision first. I don't know. It's a very little thing, just like kind of insignificant details. I probably shouldn't be going down this detailed yet, thinking about these sorts of problems, when I have other areas like this that are genuinely barely done. I have things that I haven't even started yet, so I'm definitely overthinking this part, but that is what I'm working on right now, so I'm going to keep overthinking it. Why not? There are lots of reasons why not. This is exactly what you shouldn't do. In fact, actually, let me be responsible and do something else. I'm gonna... that's it. I've got a goal for today now. I'm gonna try to get all the meshes done. They don't have to be like finished in any way, but I want them all on the character so that I can really start to look at things. That should be hidden. That's in my to delete folder that has automatically been shown when I loaded up the file, but I should be trying to keep that hidden. Okay, so this is just on one side of the hand. I'm going to be doing the little cuff thing, and she only has that on her left arm. So I'm turning off symmetry. to extract things like this by the lovely, lovely Anna is to just first, you know, get the basic mask, then extract it, and then before you really do anything else, you can try to fix the geometry with ZRemesher, see how that goes, but most likely you're not going to get a good topology for sculpting needs. So then the first thing you do with the extraction, assuming ZRemesher doesn't work, is you take it over to Maya, you do a retopology, really, really basic stuff, not detailed, just so you can get something that you can really manipulate easily and well. And so I pretty much always do that. I don't know if I'll do that today since I'm just trying to get everything in there. I don't know if I'll worry about that. Maybe I'll start by getting it all in and then go back to the first one, like go back to the cuff and start retopologizing them too. It also depends on the mesh. So for some things it's a lot more important than for others. This might be a little thick, but I'm going to go ahead and accept it because it's easier to make it thinner than it is to make it thicker, in my opinion. And with this one, I actually don't think I'll need to take it into Maya because it's such a simple shape. ZRemesher can handle this. It's smart enough to do this, I think. We'll see, but I have faith in it. I have faith in you, ZRemesher. Yeah! See, perfect. No problem. The polys are a little long, but I don't care. Our music today is Hades 2 soundtrack. I haven't played the game. I've played Hades 1, haven't played Hades 2, so this is actually my first time hearing the music. I haven't really been playing a lot of games lately. So this kind of flares, it gets tapers a little in the middle and then flares out, partly just to accommodate the natural shape of the arm, but also there's a little bit of an exaggeration. So I'm just going to try to get that feel before I move on. And then there's, of course, sort of like a trim on each side, which I'll do probably with ZModeler, maybe in Maya, depending on how I'm feeling. But I'll do that for later. I feel like it gets pretty thin. I might even want to thin out her underlying wrist mesh to fit it, because she's got really skinny little wrists, and then that metal on top of it. I'd actually say her left wrist must be smaller than her right wrist, because you can see here this silhouette is pretty much the same volume as this silhouette, so her wrist is being squeezed in there by the metal. I'll have to make her base mesh asymmetrical, which is okay, but I'm not doing that right now. Anyway, alright, so the next bit I want to get, not that, this, oh, actually, before I do that, let's duplicate this. These heads are, this one's not quite finished. I probably need to subdivide it once more and then do some more details. Like you can see there's a spiral sort of shape in the nose that I haven't been able to get with the level of geometry that I'm at. So this duplicate is probably just going to be a placeholder, and then I'll finish this one and move it up again. But I want to have this here, so just for proportions and reference. I also think I'm going to need to change the shape of this one because to fit around her shoulder the way it is here, it needs to curve more around, which is ironic because that's the original shape of this mask and I had to change it to fit her waist. But that's okay. That's what we call the 4 Ps. The 4 Ps? The piss poor prior planning? I don't know. I mean, I know that's 4 Ps. I don't remember. I don't remember if that's right. I'll just do a quick bit, just so I get the basic idea later on. How's that look? Something like that. I'm more worried about how it looks from the front than that side stuff, just for now. So let's think about that. I feel like it's too big. It's close. Actually, now it's curling around a little bit too much because I'm starting to get some clipping. Stuff like this sometimes feels like wasted effort, wasted time. I don't believe it is. I think this will pay off in the end because now I know proportions without having to, like, how do I explain this? It's just gonna work better. It's just like doing a drawing. You put the basic sketch underneath, you do all the blockouts, even if it kind of feels a bit silly sometimes. It saves time in the end because then you're not doing fiddly stuff trying to fix complex meshes once you realize that your proportions are off. And of course, there's always a little bit of that. I don't think any blockout is ever going to be good enough that you completely avoid that sort of stuff, but it saves a lot of time and a lot of headache. I personally, my least favorite part is at the very end of any project when it suddenly gets really fiddly. I don't think most people like it, but as soon as I start doing things where like I've got the save file, that's like, you know, final, the artist trope of those having multiple final versions. As soon as I start doing stuff like that, I am so uninterested in the project. I want nothing to do with it. I hate how disorganized it gets. I start throwing things together, and I really, really am miserable. So I try to set myself up as well as possible earlier on, so I don't have to do that sort of thing, because I know myself well enough to know that I'm going to be taking stupid shortcuts just to get out if I start getting uncomfortable with that sort of messy file stuff. So even if it does feel like kind of a waste of time right now, I know I'm setting myself up for success. Oh, another thing about this that isn't finished is I haven't made the trim yet, so it's got these really sloppy edges. Especially up here. I don't know what's going on up here. He's a little lopsided. Gotta use my trusty Move Infinite brush. I'm trying to train myself to use that more, because it is really handy. Good brush and good friend. Right, I'm not going to go crazy with that because I'm probably not even going to be using that. But it does need to be a bit higher up. Then I'm stopping. Famous last words. Alright, so this thing... I haven't really thought about how to do it. I guess I'll just use a cylinder and delete half of it. Oh, hello! Evening. It is not evening for me. Well, you've got your day all done. How's it been for you? This, yeah, I'm just gonna make a cylinder and delete one side. I always get these confused. I want 3, 2, and 3, I think. What does that look like? Yeah, that'll work. Didn't look right there. Oh no, that's fine. We're all in different time zones. Though I think there's a lot of people in. You must be in Europe somewhere. Just another work day for you. Internet outage. Ugh, that's not good. I hope you didn't lose anything. I'm good. I just had my final physical therapy appointment, which means I'm cleared to be mean to my body again. I didn't treat it well, working at the computer all day. But I'm better now, so that's awesome. I don't like how this looks. That's better. The first thing I'm going to do, apart from sit back at the computer, that's it. No, I'm going to enjoy not having any shoulder and neck pain. I mean, I still have a little bit, it's still there, but it's improving, so I'm going to enjoy that. what am I doing? Oh, right, the sash thing. The shoulder sash. There's probably a word for this thing. No neck, back, shoulder pain. Are you even an artist? I don't think so. I think actually, yeah, maybe I need to get it back, or else I'll be demoted. I'll go back to PT and say, actually, can you give it back to me? Can you give me the pain back? They're shunning me. They're telling me I'm not a real artist. Ends right there. We all have to suffer, apparently. Good job on working through it. Yeah, it's I was happy I caught it early because what was causing the problem was actually if I had left it, it could have been pretty bad. It was my spine starting to translate in the wrong direction. It was causing other problems more than just shoulder pain, and it would have been bad if left unchecked. So I kind of learned a lesson there. Like you really do need to pay attention to those pains in your body. If I had left it untreated, eventually it would have become untreatable and it would have had a lot of more repercussions. So take care of yourself. Do things about the pain. Don't just power through them as much as possible. But it's what I get for sitting with poor posture. As we all do, as all artists do, as maybe everyone on the computer does, but definitely especially artists. We have the shrimp neck. Oh, this is too low. This might actually be faster in Maya. I kind of usually prefer to do stuff like this in Maya. Right now it's a pretty fluid shape, but even still I think I would be able to move this stuff around better, faster. But whatever. I'm just gonna stick to what I'm doing. Sometimes what I do is I decide this would be faster and easier in whichever one I'm working in, either ZBrush or Maya. I think this would be faster or easier in the other software. And so I go over to the other one, I export it, import it, do all of that, and I do it for a little bit. I say, no, actually, it was easier in the other one. And I go back to the other one, go back to Maya, say, no, this would be better in ZBrush. I go back to ZBrush, and I just kind of go back and forth for a little while. So lately I'm actually training myself just to stick to one. Just be happy where you are. It's not really that different in either one. It's like the grass is greener, but the software is greener. It's always interesting to see how artists use ZBrush differently. Yeah, it's really incredible how much you can do with it, and yeah, the crazy stuff people do. It's so much fun watching, just watching someone work, and learning about new tools you've never seen before in your life. Didn't even know existed. I especially enjoy watching like long time industry veterans where they have these old workflows that maybe aren't the most efficient now with newer technology, but it's the most efficient for them because that's just what they know. And I love seeing like how what used to be the standard way of doing things, and I don't know, it's always really cool because it feels so different, but they're clearly masters at it. All the Pavlovich tutorials on YouTube. Want to know a tool he's got it covered? I actually don't know if I know those. Wait, hold on. Let me check. I probably do, and just I'm blanking on the name. No, actually, I haven't seen this before. I will have to check that out. Sweet. Wanted to learn the right way to use ZBrush. Turns out there isn't one. Oh my gosh, yeah. That's probably like the thing. Everyone starts out saying like, okay, what's the right way to use it? It's tempting still to say like, there's probably a right way. Like I'm probably doing this wrong, right? Like that's the temptation to think that you're doing it wrong. But no, there is no wrong way of doing it. There's definitely more efficient ways of doing it, and maybe you'd get into like actual incorrect ways of doing things when you have, like, say, the retopology, but that's not normally in ZBrush. Yeah, but definitely no right way, no wrong way. I think it feels more like that in digital art. Like if you think about just painting, the temptation to say that you're doing it wrong, you're using the wrong technique, at least for me personally, isn't as strong. It feels like once you're in a computer, once you have software, it's like there's must be one way to do it, right? Surely. I wonder what would happen if I creased that. Oh, it's not what I expected. That's really not helpful. think I'll probably do these little tails. They're completely covered by the little gemstone thing, so I think I'll just do them as a separate subtool and let this taper out um, underneath and not worry about it. I think that'll make it easier. Let's extrude this. Oh, you're a 2D artist for your day job. Use Photoshop and drawing for 10 plus years, but still always get tempted by Clip Studio. But then the muscle memory is just too stubborn to switch from Photoshop now. Yeah, the Photoshop muscle memory, man. I switched to. I certainly haven't used Photoshop for 10 plus years, but I switched from Photoshop to Clip Studio back when I was mostly doing 2D art, and it was a really hard transition. I didn't want to keep paying for Photoshop, so it was that was my motivation, but it was definitely rough. I remember one in particular I was really stuck on. It was a hotkey. I think it was the transform hotkey or something. I don't know, but I was always pressing it and messing up my drawing. Luckily now the company pays for Adobe license. That's the way to do it. What kind of art are you doing? Bunch of logos and various assets for mobile game studio. Some concept art, but mainly graphic design. That's awesome. And that's full time. That's great. That's really cool. So you say you do it for your day job. Are you also interested in doing 3D? Just like, are you doing that on the side, or are you just hanging out because art is fun? Pays the bills. I wouldn't want to be doing something non-creative. Yeah, art, art is fun, but I want to get faster at ZBrush to make and print my own toy-slash characters. Oh, cool. Yeah. I barely know the first thing about printing, but it looks like people do some really cool stuff. I've printed one of my characters once, pretty much when I was just starting at 3D, because my brother teaches at a high school, where one of the things he does is the makerspace. He's in charge of the makerspace stuff, so he every once in a while lets me use the 3D printer. So I was like, oh, well, I'm getting into 3D. I could go and give that a shot. You know, it's no risk. I don't have to buy it or anything. So I printed one of my very early characters. It's not very good, but I remember being very excited about that. It's really cool to just like see something you built, just like now it's in real life. Hello. How are you doing today? Hey, thanks. I'm just looking at that little pink guy. He's silly. I'm not really familiar with the Twitch emojis. I don't know where you guys are getting these from. If they're just like default. I always enjoy it. There's always a new one that I get to see every time. I think I need to be turning some backface masking on because I'm getting a lot of this stuff. Streams for a bit. See major some. Oh, are they your own? Are they your own little emojis? Oh, I love that one. It's so cute. 3D printing, exactly. You collect new toys anyway, so it's like a dream come true to be able to make your own. I'm just too scared for some reason. It is intimidating. I'm very intimidated by it. So like I said, I only did it because I could use someone else's 3D printer and he told me how to do it. I would be very intimidated, especially with like the not the filament, but the resin printer. It's resin, right? Yeah. Those look really complicated, like getting it level and everything, but then you get this much finer level of detail too. That's really cool. I think that would be ideal for like minis, right? Like tabletop minis sort of things. I've seen like a really popular direction for 3D printing. But yeah, it intimidates me. Resin printing results are 100 times better, but what people don't explain to you, you spend more time cleaning up after it's printed. Oh, you get like leftover debris stuff. Yeah, I've never used one, so I don't really know. What scared me away, or part of what scared me away, was the air quality, like trying to set it up in a place that's not going to give me cancer living in the same room as it. And also just, yeah, all of it. It's very complicated and expensive, seems like. So do you have a printer? Are you actually doing printing, or are you just looking into it right now? have one, haven't used it in about a year. The technology with them is a bit like mobile phones, new one each year that is bigger and better. Oof, yeah, that's frustrating. Bigger would really matter with that too. For me, like, I'm thinking mobile phones, like bigger, seems like a downgrade to me. Like, I just want something that fits in my pocket, I can hold in my hand. But yeah, a bigger printer, that is really appealing. Yeah, that's frustrating. On the other hand, if you have one that's like kind of outdated, maybe it's less scary to do it. Like, what's the worst that could happen? It's not high quality anymore anyway, right? Just have fun with it. Oh wait, what am I doing? I'm supposed to be blocking out right now. This is terrible. I'm getting distracted. Stop that. Stop sculpting. What is some more bits that I need? This little potion. But that's the best part, yeah. The sculpting, it's really easy to get distracted and just start going for it. And maybe that's fine, I don't know. Maybe I should just do whatever I want to do. Does it really matter if I block everything out before I go ham with the sculpting? Probably not. But I said I was going to block it out first, so I have to stick to what I said. The artistic urge to keep sculpting and refining forever. It's just so much more fun than like the move brush. Yeah, it gets the job done, but then you get into like clay buildup. Clay buildup is where it's at. Clay buildup is fun time. Is this personal portfolio work or client work? It's just personal. It's personal work. No, it's personal work, portfolio, yeah. I honestly started this entirely for streaming, and I don't really work on it much outside of streaming, even though I should. Because it's my only portfolio piece that I'm working on right now. Yeah, streaming's a great way to keep yourself accountable. Yeah, I don't think I'd be working on it at all otherwise. Her hair is a big mystery to me. I can't seem to get it to a place where I'm happy with it. I've kind of been avoiding it since I first made this big lump, because it's just, I don't like it. She also doesn't have ears. I should give her some ears. I think she'd like that. Then she can hear us talking about her. I have a special reference just for the oh, wait, I thought I did. Hold on. There. For the poison bottle. It's not potion, it's poison. Don't get them mixed up. Trying to decide if that's a perfect sphere or not. I don't think it is quite, but it might just be the drawing. I'm not sure how close I want to follow the drawing. It looks a little bit squashed to me. And I don't want it to look too like just CG. Like perfect sphere is not a great look. I'm not sure how I want to do this. I don't think I've ever done a transparent asset like this before. I'm trying to think about how these layers are going to work with the baking. Is there any reason to bake a transparent object? Ooh, I don't know what I'm doing. This is exciting. Maybe I'll just make it one mesh. I'll make them separately and then merge them together with Dynamesh, and that will be a really safe bet. Glass blowing isn't perfect. Sounds like a good idea to make it not perfectly sphere-like. Yeah. I just don't want it to look like, you know, like someone just like slapped a cube, or not cube, sphere into Maya and said it's done. Yeah, so I actually, sorry, you're asking if it's going to be hand painted or if it's going to be full PBR. I'm not sure. I'm definitely going to do a lot of hand painting. Like, I want to do it how Hades is done. I'm not sure exactly what they do have in Hades. Obviously, there's a lot of hand painting. Is it just the base color, or do they have uh, metal or roughness at all? I don't know. I need to look into that, I guess. I was kind of just putting it off until I got to the textures, but now that I'm thinking about things like this, I do need to figure it out. Yeah, but ideally I'm just going to figure out how they did it for Hades and then just copy that as closely as I can. That's the plan. maybe I'll maybe I'll come back to this once I've figured out the texturing a little better and I have a better idea of what I'll be doing. There's not really any rush. I'll just leave it like that. Make him... Oh. Oops. Oh, this hair is so cool. I'm getting entirely distracted by this, but I really like this one. Okay, what was I looking for? I don't even remember. Oh, another angle of the potion. Ah. It doesn't make sense. It's in the front. Or it's on the other side in both directions. Whatever. I'm just gonna leave it. That's future Samson's problem. I think it's hand painted with subtle cell shaded shadows. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. I mean, that's what it looks like. I've made cell shading in Unreal before, and I always hate how it looks, so I will have to experiment some more with how to make it really look good. Because I'm planning on rendering it in Unreal. Kind of looks like they might even have multiple tones, unless that's part of the hand painting. Not sure. Yeah, I'll see what more resources I can find to figure out how they did it. You've got cats screaming at you for food. Aw. Yeah, thanks for coming. Please come back when you can. And feed the poor babies. Bye bye. What's happening? Uh-oh. Have you crashed? What are you doing? I was just trying to subdivide. I don't know what I did to it. Yeah, I'll render it in Unreal. I don't know. Yeah, no, I don't think you're being sarcastic. I don't think that's a sarcastic. That's super fun. I pretty much exclusively do my character rendering in Unreal. I would kind of like to learn Unity. Oh, have I killed you? Nope, it's still going. I don't know what it's doing. What are you doing? Did I turn smooth off? No. Is that an M on the end there that's being cut off? I think so. Oh, that's so weird. It is subdividing, but it's not smoothing, even though smooth is on, and it's not giving me any more levels. I've done something. What have I done? Oh, is it the mask? It's probably the mask. There we go. Sheesh. Not sarcastic. Unreal Material Graph is really fun to experiment with. Yeah, it's such a rabbit hole. You can just spend like weeks. It's so frustrating if you can't get it right, but it's so cool if you can figure it out. So, yeah. There's a lot of just like YouTube tutorials on how to do cell shading, for example. And it's really interesting how many different ways there are to do it. I don't know, personally, when I started it, I thought, well, there must be only one way, right? But there's so many different methods. It's definitely something I want to understand better, like that technical shading stuff. And I definitely will be learning some more if I'm going to be trying to render stylized glass. So that will be fun. And where's my mouse there? They also have an outline, right? Yeah. I mean, that's not that complicated, but we have like the mesh outline is pretty thin, and then I assume that's part of the shader and not painted in. These really thick lines within the mesh. I don't know if that's based on the normals or just based on the actual geometry, but I don't know, they don't look painted to me. That looks like shader stuff. Although it is underneath that, so it's kind of weird. I don't know. Another thing to look into, but yeah. It's definitely fun. It's a puzzle, but it's a fun puzzle. Oh, symmetry was not on. Okay. You think they are painted on? Yeah, maybe. I can't tell. I should actually go in and play the game for a little bit. I can say it's work. And look at them. It's hard to tell actually in the game because they're like this big, and you're trying to figure out those kinds of details. But I have it on my PlayStation, so the graphics are even worse. But yeah, that'll be interesting. I think I would really like to do her fingernails, but I think first. No, I'm just gonna do them. Just gonna go for it. I might regret it later, but I've been looking forward to doing these for a while. I think I will do it as IMM. What does the capsule look like? No. Okay. probably super thin. Join the rookies on Instagram. Am I studying? Oh, I see. I just finished just graduated from CG Spectrum, like literally last week. Um, so no, I'm kind of at complete loose ends right now. I'm just doing Firestorm, and apart from that, I don't actually really have anything. I'm job applications. Um, yeah. How about you? What kind of job do you want? I would like to be doing, I mean, character art. Hopefully, obviously, character art for games specifically. I really just, apart from that, I don't really care. And honestly, I'd do anything if someone would just give me some money. But the dream would be doing some stylized character art. I think that's really fun. You're working in games as 3 character artists right now. Good taste. Nice. What are you working on right now? What's the current project? If you can talk about it. Oh, and we're getting a visa for a new job. Nice. That's big step. Gonna doing personal projects at the moment to fill the time. Yeah. Where are you going to, if you don't mind me asking? Going to the US, currently in Berlin, going to LA. Nice. I I know nothing about LA. I'm probably obviously an American, but I'm on the East Coast. My family's from California, but not Southern California. So good luck. I mean, it's obviously where all the jobs are, but that's definitely a big step. Oh man, I used to have a quick button down here for splitting by mask, but I seem to have lost it in the purge. Now her fingers look really silly. Alright, I should have finished the fingers before I did the fingernails. Fine, I will do that now. I'm kind of clumsy with the tablet. I've gotten quite a bit of practice, but I still seem to press a lot of random buttons accidentally. Maybe that's just that's just how it is. I did start sculpting with the mouse. I think I used ZBrush for like maybe as much as a year before I finally got a tablet. So that's probably part of my problem. I need some hand references. don't like using realistic references with stylized sculpting. So I'm hesitant to put this one on here. But I'm actually having a hard time finding anything else. I'm really curious about what part of the game this song is from. Let's see, what does it say? I am gonna claw out your eyes, then drown you to death. Amazing. Alright, well, I can't seem to find another reference, so I'm supposed to work with this. Okay, that was a lot of effort for a single reference. But this one is nice because that's really close to her hand. It's kind of a tricky one because I am making this in the style of Hades, but I'm also making it as a portfolio piece. And the Hades style is designed to be very, very small. And as a portfolio piece, I'm going to have up-close large renders. So I'm sure they didn't go to this level of detail sculpting fingers. I mean, let's see. So I'm going to be, okay. Actually, there is quite a lot of detail in there. They got some curves and stuff. Alright, I feel better now. Actually, this is helpful to look at these. They have really exaggerated fingertip. Interesting. That actually might be more helpful than the realistic photo. Her fingers would be most like this character's of all of these. I still think she has more slender fingers than this, but this is good for a base anyway. Ooh, Overwatch 2 has some nice hands if you need a reference. You keep it installed just to make screenshots. I've had a few games like that. Like, I actually can't stand to play this game, but the art references are awesome. Okay, that's a good tip though. Overwatch is free, right? So I could just go in and get some hands and get out. These ones are all wearing gloves. That's not helpful. They really do like their gloves in Overwatch, don't they? Here's someone, but I don't like that angle. That's not a helpful angle. I'm just looking at ArtStation right now, at official characters. Well, that might be something I have to go back and get later. I can at least give her these weird fingertips, like E.T. And then actually I was expecting them to be kind of like sort of sausage fingers, like pretty straight and simple, and they actually kind of are the opposite of that, where the form is pretty exaggerated, like the curves are. So I am glad I looked, because in my concept, they're not really like that. They're just kind of slim and straight. These look kind of alien over here. Guess it's more that ET look. Oh wait, no. What am I doing? Don't smooth that out. I just made that. Hands are kind of alien and gross if you look too long. That is true. They really are so strange. Like, awesome. I really appreciate that we have them. I would be bummed out if I didn't have hands. But they are weird. I always wonder if, like, my cat looks at my hands and thinks they look weird. What do other animals think our hands are like? He has really long fingertips. That's crazy. Kind of a distinctive thing about the style that I hadn't noticed until right now. And that's why it's so fun to go and replicate one particular style. All these little things that you never notice actually playing the game. It just kind of comes through as like a general impression, but nothing in particular. Actually, that's not necessarily true. I can think of, like, some particular things that stood out to me playing the game are, like, the colored highlights that I'm not seeing anywhere in these guys. So maybe it's just in the 2D illustrations, actually, but, like, these just little colored lights everywhere. They're not even necessarily highlights. I mean, they're using them as highlights, but you wouldn't really have a highlight like that there. But whatever they are, they're all over. That stood out to me even just playing the game. And they've got like these colored rim lights too. Very saturated stuff. But yeah, little details like the fingertips. You never ever notice that just playing. But it definitely adds to the overall impression. You gotta be careful not to make her look like make them look like bony old hands. looking good. Thanks. It's getting there. I've just realized I haven't said anything in a while. I'm in super focus mode apparently. Hands aren't something you can talk while working on. The knuckles I noticed there's quite a big ridge there kind of thing. But on mine it looks a little bit like poofy in a way I don't like. So I'll have to keep working on that. Maybe it's just too much. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I keep messing around, poking at it until I like it. Hands are sometimes looking harder than faces. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't even I haven't even started the face. I've just ignored it. That's definitely needs a lot of work. I was just looking at that earlier. I've got some proportional issues and I haven't added her ears yet, so it's really hard to tell what the proportional issues are. Other than that, I know there are some. So that is definitely something I'm going to be working on soon. Oh, that's actually good. I need to take a step back. This one is a little too deep, I think. I wish I had a straight on view from the front of her hand. This one just isn't quite what I'm looking for. His hand is a different shape, but that is kind of helpful. love the Achilles design. I love these gloves. It's so fun. I don't know about making him blonde, but like the outfit, the costuming is cool. Alright, now out of curiosity, what does the fingernail look like now? Oh, so. Of course it's in the wrong place, but does it feel a little bit more like what I'm looking for? It's getting closer anyway. Yeah. Okay, I think I can't really... I don't want to continue with this hand until I get more... better reference? More better references. So I think I'm going to end that here today because it's going to take a little while to get some more. I don't really know. I guess I made progress. It's kind of hard to tell just at a glance, but I am progressing. I got to spend some time off stream working on this or I'm never going to get it done. Alright, but yeah, so done for today. Let's see, it's Friday, so enjoy your weekend if you have some time off, and if you don't, sorry for your loss. But yeah, go outside, enjoy the warmth while you still can, and play nice, make friends. All right, I'll be back on Monday. All right, bye bye.